Part 1. Okay, so I never thought I'd be the person to write something like this, but here we are. I've lurked on Reddit for years, laughed at the memes, cried over other people's heartbreak posts and thought, wow, that's wild, but thank God my life is so boring compared to that. Yeah, famous last words. I, 32F, have been married to my husband, 34M, for almost 6 years. Together for 8, married for 6. He's funny, he's smart, and for the longest time I really believed I hit the jackpot. We met at a trivia night at a local bar. He knew way too much about random European capitals and I knew way too much about 90s boy bands, and we've been inseparable ever since. Or at least, I thought we were. Some background. My husband works in IT consulting. The kind of job where business trips aren't unusual. He's had to fly out maybe once every couple of months, usually to some city within the US to meet with clients, though he's always vague about the details. I never really questioned it because he'd come back with receipts from hotels, funny stories about weird Uber drivers, and once even brought me a mug from Chicago with a cheesy skyline print. I trusted him. Like, genuinely to my bones trusted him. Anyway, last week he told me he had to go on another trip. Supposedly 3 days in Denver. He left on a Wednesday morning with his usual little black carry-on and his laptop bag. He kissed me goodbye, said, "I'll text you when I land," and off he went. Business as usual. The first weird thing, he never texted me when he landed. I noticed a couple hours later, shot him a, "Hey, did you land okay?" message. No reply. About 4 hours after that he finally texted, "Yeah, sorry, super busy. Just got to the hotel, talk later." Not the most romantic text, but fine. He is often slammed with work, so I brushed it off. Now here's where the plot thickens. My best friend, let's call her Rachel, 30F, is basically my ride. We've been friends since college. She's loud, funny, posts way too much on Instagram and has a habit of dragging me out when I'd rather be a hermit at home with Netflix. That Thursday night she texted me around 7 p.m. like, "Rachel, girl, come out. We're at this new rooftop bar, the cocktails are insane." I was curled up in sweatpants mid-binge of The Bear and honestly not in the mood, so I said no. She kept pestering me, sending me pics of her drinks, selfies with our mutual friends, the usual FOMO bait. I laughed, scrolled through, and then one of her group shots made my stomach literally drop. Because in the blurry background at a high-top table sitting next to some people I didn't recognize, was my husband. Like, I froze. I must have stared at that photo for 10 minutes straight. It wasn't one of those maybe it's a lookalike situations. I know that man. I know the shape of his shoulders, the stupid baseball cap he insists on wearing backward, even the way he holds a glass. It was him. And he was supposed to be in Denver. I zoomed in. Grainy but still him. He wasn't looking at the camera, obviously. He was leaning toward a woman sitting across from him mid-conversation. I couldn't see her face clearly, just long dark hair. My stomach started doing somersaults. I didn't respond to Rachel. I didn't say a word. I just sat there on the couch, my show still playing in the background, my phone screen burning into my eyes. Every logical part of me tried to come up with an explanation. Maybe the flight got cancelled and he didn't tell me? Maybe that photo was old and Rachel reposted it? But no, she was tagging people in her stories with timestamps and I checked. It was that night. I scrolled her Instagram praying maybe I was hallucinating, maybe it was someone else. But nope. The baseball cap he wore? It was his. I bought it for him from a little shop on our anniversary trip to Asheville. The hoodie, his favorite one from a band he loves. It was him. I felt this weird mix of rage, confusion, and like, surreal detachment. Like I was watching a movie about someone else's life. Because my husband doesn't lie to me. He doesn't. Or at least I thought he didn't. I didn't text him right away. I didn't even know what to say. I just sat there rereading his last message. Super busy. Just got to the hotel. Except no. He wasn't in a Denver hotel. He was 10 miles away at a rooftop bar with some mystery woman. The rest of the night was a blur. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. Around midnight he texted me. Him, long day gonna crash. Love you. Love me. Like he hadn't just lied through his teeth. The next morning I woke up with this pit in my stomach. I wanted to call him, scream, demand answers. But some part of me needed more than just my eyes catching him in the background of an Instagram story. I needed confirmation. Proof. Something undeniable. So I did something I've never done before. I started snooping. First stop, his email. He once logged into his Gmail on my laptop and never logged out. Don't worry, I didn't go full CIA, it was literally still there. I opened it, hands shaking. There were flight confirmations, sure, but nothing for the supposed Denver trip. The last flight he booked was over a month ago. No hotel reservation emails either. Nothing. Then I checked our shared credit card account online. Again, nothing from an airline. But there was a charge from an Uber Wednesday evening. Not in Denver. Right here in our city. Pick up near our house, drop off near the downtown area. My heart was pounding so loud I could hear it in my ears. He hadn't even left town. He'd packed a suitcase, kissed me goodbye, told me he was flying to Denver, and then what? Just Ubered downtown and stayed somewhere? At this point I felt like my world was tilting sideways. I called Rachel. I didn't tell her everything, just asked casually, "Hey, that rooftop bar last night, where was it?" He told me the name. Sure enough, it's in the same neighborhood as the Uber drop-off. I don't even remember the rest of that conversation. I hung up, sat on the couch with my laptop open and just stared. My husband was lying to me. Boldly. Comfortably. And I had no idea why. The day crawled by. He texted me a couple times. Him, "Morning babe, meetings all day." Him, "Wish I could FaceTime, Wi-Fi sucks." Meetings? Wi-Fi? He was literally down the street. I thought about driving over to the bar or trying to catch him in the act, but I chickened out. What if I saw something I couldn't unsee? What if I confronted him too soon and he just covered it up better? That night I didn't sleep again. I lay awake imagining every possibility. Maybe he was cheating. Maybe he'd lost his job and was pretending to go on trips so I wouldn't find out. Maybe he was having some kind of breakdown. Every scenario felt worse than the last. By Friday I was spiraling. I decided to test him. I texted, "Hey, how's Denver? What's the weather like?" A softball question. He replied. Him, "Cold L. Had to buy a scarf." A scarf. I wanted to throw my phone at the wall. It was 82 degrees and sunny in Denver that day. I checked. Twice. That's when I knew without a doubt he was lying straight to my face. No. I don't know what to do. I haven't confronted him yet. He's supposed to come back tomorrow evening. Do I let him walk through the door like nothing's wrong? Do I ambush him with the screenshots, the receipts, the Instagram post? Do I follow him and see where he actually goes tonight? I feel like I'm living in some twisted alternate reality. And the worst part is I still love him. I don't want this to be true. I want some magical explanation where everything makes sense. But deep down I know. He's hiding something big. And tomorrow when he walks back into this house pretending he's returning from Denver, I'm going to find out what. Part 2. So he came back. Saturday evening, right on schedule, suitcase in hand like he'd just flown in from Denver International. I'd been pacing the living room for hours, my stomach in knots. I kept rehearsing in my head, should I play it cool? Should I explode the second he walks in? But when I finally heard the key in the door, all my plans scattered. He walked in smiling, a little tired looking, wearing that same stupid black hoodie from the Instagram photo. "Hey babe," he said, dropping his bag. God, I'm exhausted. And I just stood there staring at him, my heart pounding so loud I could barely hear. "Long trip?" I asked. My voice came out weird, too high, too fake. "Yeah," he sighed, rubbing his neck. "Clients were brutal this time. I barely slept." He leaned in to kiss me and I let him, but I felt stiff, like my lips weren't even mine. For a second I almost just blurted everything out. The Instagram picture, the Uber charge, the non-existent flight. But instead I heard myself say, "Oh, I'm glad you're home. What the hell is wrong with me?" He dropped his bag in the bedroom, kicked off his shoes and flopped onto the couch like nothing was wrong. Like he hadn't spent the last 3 days spinning some elaborate lie. I went into the bedroom under the pretense of putting his suitcase away, but really I wanted to look inside. My hands shook as I unzipped it. Clothes. Mostly clean, some rumpled. Toiletries. His laptop. Nothing suspicious. Except that the little complimentary luggage tag from airlines he usually flies wasn't there. No ticket stubs, no boarding passes, no hotel receipts tucked in the side pocket like usual. It was just empty of any travel evidence. When I came back out he was already scrolling on his phone. "So," he said casually, "what did you get up to while I was gone?" I swallowed hard. "Not much. Rachel dragged me out Thursday night, but mostly just Netflix." "Oh yeah," he said, not looking up. "Where'd you go?" My stomach flipped. Did he know? Was this a trap? I forced a smile. "Some rooftop bar downtown. You know how she is." He froze for half a second, so small I almost missed it, then just nodded. "Nice. Bet that was fun." I wanted to scream. I wanted to grab his phone and shove the Instagram post in his face. But instead I sat there next to him, heart racing, pretending to watch TV. That night in bed I couldn't sleep. He snored lightly beside me, arm draped over my waist like always, while my brain screamed, "He's lying. He knows, He's playing a game." Sunday morning I decided I couldn't just sit in the dark anymore. If I wasn't ready to confront him, I needed to gather more. Something undeniable. So I turned into a full-blown amateur detective. First, his suitcase again. I checked every pocket, every zipper. Nothing. Then I went through the laundry basket. Same clothes he left in, same hoodie from the photo, no extra outfits that looked trip-worthy. Next, his laptop. Risky, I know. While he showered, I opened it. He keeps it password protected, but I know his birthday combo. His inbox was oddly clean. Too clean. Barely any work emails and certainly none about Denver meetings. But the weirdest thing? A whole folder buried in documents labeled invoices. I clicked. Password protected. My hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped the mouse. I closed everything before he came out. My mind was racing. Why would he need a secret folder? What kind of invoices? Later that day I checked our credit card account again. Saturday night. Another Uber, this one dropping him back at our house around 7 p.m. Which means he didn't even drive himself to wherever he was hiding out. He literally staged the whole trip with a damn rideshare. That night I tried another test. So, did you try any good restaurants in Denver? I asked casually over dinner. Yeah, a steakhouse near the hotel, he said quickly, shoveling food in his mouth. Real good. What was it called? He blinked. Can't remember. Some place downtown. My heart sank. He always remembers restaurant names. He's the guy who yelps every meal. This was the sloppiest lie yet. By Monday I was spiraling again. I texted Rachel asking if she'd noticed anything weird that night. She said, not really. Why? I almost confessed everything but chickened out. I just said I thought I saw someone I knew. But then Rachel dropped a bomb without realizing it. She said, oh wait, I think I saw your husband's doppelganger there actually. Freaked me out for a sec. I nearly dropped my phone. Doppelganger. She thought it was a coincidence. She didn't realize it was him. That night I decided, I couldn't do this alone anymore. I called my sister, 29F. Let's call her Megan. She's blunt, no nonsense, and has always been protective of me. I told her everything. Instagram photo, fake trip, Uber charges. Her response. Dead silence. Then, he's cheating. I tried to argue. But maybe. No, she cut me off. People don't fake business trips unless they're hiding something big. And it's usually another woman. I felt sick. But part of me knew she was right. Megan offered to help. If you want proof, we'll get proof. Let's follow him next time he goes on one of these trips. The idea terrified me, but also, it made sense. If he was bold enough to fake Denver, he'd probably try again. And we could catch him. So we waited. Sure enough, Wednesday evening, exactly a week after the Denver trip, he told me he had to go to Dallas for 2 days. My blood ran cold. I played along, nodded, kissed him goodbye Thursday morning as he wheeled his suitcase out the door. The second he left, Megan pulled up in her car. Ready? She asked. We followed the Uber. My heart was in my throat the entire time. I kept ducking like he might spot me in the rearview even though we were 2 cars back. The driver dropped him off not at the airport but at, get this, a mid-range apartment complex downtown. We parked nearby watching. He walked inside like he belonged there. No hesitation. No looking around. We waited almost an hour. My palms were sweating, my whole body buzzing with adrenaline. Then around 10 a.m., a woman walked out of the building. Long dark hair. The same build as the woman from the rooftop photo. She got into a car and drove off. I couldn't breathe. Megan grabbed my hand. That's her, she said. We stayed another 2 hours. Finally, around lunchtime, my husband came out. No suitcase. Just his laptop bag. He walked down the street like he was headed to work. It was so casual, so normal, like he wasn't living a double life. We followed him a bit, but he just ended up at his actual office building. So here's what I think is happening. He's staying with this woman during his trips, then going to work like normal, pretending to me that he's out of state. I feel like I'm losing my mind. That night he texted me, long day, gonna grab dinner with the team. Meanwhile, he was probably back at that apartment. With her. I wanted to confront him right then. But Megan convinced me to wait. If you confront him without solid proof, he'll gaslight you. You need something he can't deny. So we made a plan. The next morning we staked out the apartment again. Around 9 a.m. the woman came out with him. They walked to her car together. He kissed her goodbye. On the mouth. My hands shook so hard I almost dropped my phone as I snapped photos from the passenger seat. There was proof. And I didn't feel relief. I felt like someone had taken a hammer to my chest. I had all the answers I thought I wanted, and I wished more than anything that I could unsee it. Now he's supposed to come back tomorrow night from Dallas, waltz into our house like nothing's wrong. And I don't know how to do this. Do I wait until he's home and then show him the photos? Do I pack a bag and leave before he even gets back? Do I text him the proof and block his number? All I know is my marriage is a lie. And tomorrow I have to decide whether to blow it all up. Part 3. He came home Friday night, suitcase in hand, smiling like nothing had happened. I'd been sitting at the kitchen table for hours, just staring at the photos on my phone, scrolling back and forth like if I looked enough times, they'd magically change. Spoiler, they didn't. When I heard the key in the door, my chest tightened. My palms were sweating so much I could barely hold the phone. I'd promised myself I'd confront him. No more waiting, no more excuses. "Hey babe," he called, setting his bag down. God, that was a long one. I stood up slowly. My heart was hammering so loud I thought I'd faint. "How was Dallas?" He smiled, totally relaxed. "Hot as hell. Meetings back to back. You know how it is." I swallowed. Really? Because from where I was sitting it looked more like downtown. With her. His smile faltered. Just a flicker, but I saw it. He blinked. "What?" I unlocked my phone, turned the screen toward him. The photo of him kissing the dark-haired woman in front of her car. Don't lie. I know. For a moment the silence was deafening. His face went pale, then red, then pale again. He opened his mouth, closed it, rubbed the back of his neck like he always does when he's cornered. Finally, "It's not what it looks like." Actually laughed. Came out sharp, ugly. "Not what it looks like. You're kissing another woman at an apartment you've been staying in while you're supposedly in Dallas. Tell me, what exactly am I supposed to think that looks like?" He ran both hands through his hair, pacing. "I can explain." "Then explain," I snapped. "Because right now it looks like my husband of 6 years has been living a double life." He froze. I could see the gears turning. He was scrambling, desperate. Then he said, "Her name's Emily. We used to date years ago before I met you. She reached out a few months back. She was in a bad place and I wanted to help her." "Help her?" My voice cracked. "By pretending to go on business trips and sleeping at her apartment? By lying straight to my face?" "It wasn't supposed to go this far," he said quickly, stepping closer. "At first it was just me checking in on her, making sure she was okay. I don't know, I got caught up. But it doesn't mean anything. I love you. You're my wife." My chest felt like it was caving in. "You love me. You love me. You've been sneaking around for months. How many trips, huh? Denver, Dallas, Chicago. Were any of them real?" He hesitated. And in that hesitation I had my answer. I sank into the chair, shaking. Tears blurred my vision. "Do you even hear yourself? You let me think I was crazy. You looked me in the eye and lied every single day." He knelt down in front of me, grabbing my hands. "I didn't want to hurt you. I swear it was a mistake. It's over. I'll cut her off right now. I'll show you my phone, whatever you need." I yanked my hands away. "Do you think that fixes this? That you can just say, 'Oops, my bad,' and we go back to normal?" His eyes were glossy. He looked terrified. And for a brief, horrible second I almost felt sorry for him. Almost. But then I remembered the way he kissed her. The way he laughed with her at that bar. The way he came home, suitcase empty, acting like he'd been on some grueling work trip while I sat here missing him. And that pity turned into ice. "I want you to leave," I said quietly. He blinked. "What?" "You heard me. Get out. Go to Emily's. Go wherever. But you're not sleeping under this roof tonight." He stared at me like I'd slapped him. "Babe, please. Don't do this. We can work through it. I'll do counseling. No," my voice shook but I held firm. "You already made your choice. And now I'm making mine." For a second I thought he might refuse. But then his shoulders slumped. He grabbed his suitcase, still half-packed with the same clean clothes, and walked to the door. He turned back once, eyes full of something. Fear, regret, desperation, I don't know. "I'm sorry," he whispered. Then he was gone. The door clicked shut and the silence that followed was deafening. The next few days were a blur. I cried until my eyes swelled shut. I called Megan every hour. Rachel showed up with wine and ice cream and swore she'd key his car if I wanted. I said no, but the thought was tempting. Then came the text. "Him, please talk to me." "Him, I'll end it, I swear. Just don't throw us away." "Him, I love you. I made a mistake. One mistake." Except it wasn't one mistake. It was dozens, hundreds. Every lie, every fake flight, every "love you, babe" text while he was with her. I didn't respond. Then Emily herself messaged me. Her. A Facebook DM popped up. "Emily, I'm sorry. I didn't know he was still with you. He told me you two were separated." I almost threw my phone across the room. Separated? We'd literally gone on a weekend getaway a month ago. We weren't separated. I typed back, "We're married. For 6 years." She didn't reply right away. Hours later she sent, "I didn't know. I swear. I wouldn't have. I didn't believe her. Or maybe I just didn't care." The fallout has been brutal. My husband's been staying with a friend, not Emily, at least as far as I know. He keeps begging me to meet, to talk, to work on things. Megan says I should block him and call a lawyer. Rachel says I should burn his clothes. My mom cried when I told her. Me. I feel hollow. Like someone scooped out my insides and left a shell behind. I keep replaying everything in my head. The trivia night where we met. The proposal on the hiking trail. The anniversary trips. Were any of those real? Or was he always capable of this? Sometimes I catch myself wanting to believe him. Wanting to believe it didn't mean anything, and that we can somehow fix it. But then I remember that photo. His lips on hers. The look on his face. That wasn't nothing. That was betrayal. So I started looking at apartments. Just little one-bedroom places where I can start over. Feels terrifying. But also, maybe a tiny bit freeing. I don't know what the future looks like yet. Divorce papers? Counseling? Therapy definitely. But I do know one thing. I deserve better than someone who packs an empty suitcase and kisses another woman while telling me he's on a business trip. I deserve honesty. I deserve respect. And for the first time in weeks I actually believe that. So yeah, that's where I'm at. My marriage is basically in shambles, but at least I have the truth now. And as painful as it is, truth is better than living in the dark. If you've read this far, thank you. Really. I don't know what comes next, but I know I'm not alone. Because somewhere out there, some stranger on the internet is nodding along thinking, yeah, you did the right thing. And right now that's enough to keep me standing.